There's a lot of conspiracy theory videos about the Denver airport, and I'm going to try not to make this like all those other ones. You know, People have theories about things that are weird. So it's natural for us who are skeptical of things to theorize, especially when we're dealing with people who, let's just say, have been less than truthful in the past. So we're talking about the DIA, the Denver airport. There's a lot of questions about the Denver airport. I've got lots of questions. I'm sure you do too. So I'm going to try not to speak past what I know, but I'm going to ask questions and let you guys make up your own theories. Let's start with it was weird when they built the Denver airport because it's kind of far outside of Denver. Most people want a convenient airport. So why would you build one that was kind of far away? And why would you pick a site that, I'm not making this part up, was a sacred Native American burial ground?
Denver International Airport, built in 1995 and residing only 20 minutes from east of downtown, is on a sacred Indian burial ground, and it now appears the city is considering a $1 billion facelift of the airport, including construction of more facilities. Albeit if the voices of protest aren't speaking loudly enough, the spirits most certainly are. Pass through any one of the concourses at DIA, especially Terminal A, the one will detect subtle, familiar sounds of American Indian flute. The high harmonies play on a continual loop, serenading frequent flyers from camouflage speakers behind glass cases displaying old Indian trinkets and blouses. These flutes tunes aren't there to pay homage to plain Indians who once inhabited the area, nor do they play to create a welcome to West ambiance for the airport's patrons or layovers to Seattle. No, Indian flutes play to pause, pranks, and creepy occurrences that sweep the facility.
Yeah. They literally said they had to bring in Native American elders to try to silence evil spirits or restless spirits. Maybe they weren't evil, they were just restless because their burial ground was disturbed.
During construction, innumerable unexplained phenomena occurred at DIA, reportedly continues today 15 years after its unveiling. In the late 1990s, airport big shots summoned Colorado American Indian elders to place blessings on the airport in a last-ditch effort to rest the restless spirits and mitigate the often frightening recurring events airport staff were reporting on a consistent basis.
It's kind of crazy. And of course, when I first went there, I wondered something about that because of the TP design of the airport, which is obviously unusual. Yeah. Also, the demonic blue horse. Is that a theory that's demonic? I mean, I think it looks evil. I mean, I think things with red eyes look evil. So this thing, Lucifer, and that's the name everybody calls it. Let's just say there was an accident while he was being created by the artist, the sculptor. It fell on him and crushed him and killed him. And they finished him after he died, decided to still put him up. And they said it was his sons who gave it the red eyes because he did some work with, I guess, neon. And somehow that honored him, when I think it kind of looks kind of ominous. And I don't think I'm alone on that. Because, I mean, you might say there's Denver Broncos, but that's a white horse. It's not an evil blue horse with red eyes. So, yeah, we got questions about that. Why is the runway system shaped like a swastika? Right? That's strange. Everybody knows that symbol's offensive. So why would you pick that one? And I think they tried to say it was more efficient than most, but it's not the busiest airport in the world. And those busier ones did not, like Dubai and whatnot. They didn't pick that symbol. So you could probably do better and offend less people with a different symbol. Just another question. So who got fired when you guys were like $2 billion over budget? So I think they said originally they estimated that the airport was going to cost about $2 billion to build. It took like about 4.2 or something like that. Yeah. And I'm in construction, and let's just say if anything I estimated cost that much more than it cost, well, I would be long in the poorhouse before then. So yeah. So I guess that's when people start to speculate. There's questions whether there was underground buildings. There was theories and rumors, and I like this could be verifiable. The original plane had 5 buildings that they built and then buried. So this thing not only went way over budget, but it took way longer than they said it would. So they built a lot of underground stuff. They built tunnels. Supposedly they buried buildings. There's an underground baggage claim area, a mechanical baggage claim thing that never really worked, which cost like between like hundreds of millions. I saw 200 million. I saw 700 million. I don't know. So they just abandoned it. That's weird. It's got its own water system. It's got its own electrical system, like solar energy. It's 33,000 square acres. It's the second biggest airport lane-wise in the whole world. Why did Denver need an airport that big? And because now we're in 2023, I guess between 2018 and I think they said 2028, they're renovating the airport and they're putting another $4 billion into this airport. So the airport that was already way over budget is using an extra $4 billion to renovate it. I mean, I think they say it's the third busiest airport in America, but still, I mean, like, I guess we reached a point where money just is like the numbers, just like obviously trillions, billions, whatever. Yeah, it's all funny money, I guess. Still a lot of funny money though. Now we can talk about the inside of this place. Gargoyles. So the whole idea behind gargoyles, I don't buy this, but if you do, they keep evil spirits outside of places. That's why you put them on the outsides of buildings. So when you put them on the inside, are you going to try to keep evil spirits inside? Because that's weird. And also they look like demons. I think that's kind of the idea. Why would you put that on the inside? People don't want to look at that before they're getting on a plane. I don't want to look at that. The murals, no matter what anyone says, they look like, to me, to this guy right here and many others, they look like they depict an apocalypse. They got dead children, dead babies, soldiers with gas masks, a new age resurrection looking thing. It's strange. It's strange as all. Supposedly the artist got no direction from anybody to paint this, which my follow-up question would be, why didn't somebody say, paint something else? Because that seems like something you don't want to look at. Once again, before you're about to get on an airplane, dead children, dead babies, soldiers with gas masks. I mean, it's caused many to speculate, is this predicting something that's going to happen? And then when you tie that into there's being underground tunnels, potentially an underground city under there, hey, maybe those two things fit together, because if the elites or whoever built the airport know about this, they're kind of calling their shot and they got the place. They got their hideout already picked out. How about that? Maybe that was too much theorizing. Was there a question there? Maybe there wasn't. Well, that's when you get into the capstone and also the time capsule by the Freemasons, the most masterful lodges in Colorado. What's interesting is it was dedicated by the New World Airport Commission, which supposedly does not exist, which I think is kind of a strange thing. Whether is it better or worse that they don't exist? Because that seems weird to me, that how could anyone who doesn't exist dedicate an airport? So we're the strange ones for asking questions about that. I think those are fair questions. It's kind of like when people say the Illuminati does not exist, and then they put their symbols on everything. So they put their symbol on this airport that's very strange. I don't think that's a theory. The airport's very strange. They admit that. Then when we asked about it, they say, oh, well, they don't exist. And then we kind of just like, and we're the weird ones. Like I said, the Illuminati puts their symbols on things like our dollar bill, like the Great Seal of America. And you know what? Also on the state seal of Colorado. Did you guys know that? Not a theory. It's real. Yeah. I got to ask about the underground stuff again. So they say there's miles of underground tunnels. This is not speculating. They say they don't go that far, but they go miles. I mean, so the airport, I think they say is like 54 square miles, 33,000 square acres. So obviously just to go around the airport, it's miles. So my question is, if there's not an underground city under the Denver airport, is it because there's actually an underground city 95 miles to the south of the Denver airport? We're talking about the Cheyenne mountain complex.
A giant military facility tucked into a mountain. The top secret Cheyenne mountain complex in Colorado Springs can withstand a nuclear attack. It's like a mini underground city, an engineering marvel. And tonight, my co-anchor Eric Connor takes you on a tour of one of the safest spots in the world.
On the outside, it looks like your typical mountain, but inside is one of the most advanced military installations ever.
We were designed for a nuclear blast.
Stephen Rose is the deputy director for the Cheyenne Mountain Complex, which houses 13 Department of Defense agencies. He's bringing us inside the tunnels. These two doors, weighing 23 tons each, lead to 15 multi-story buildings.
They're made of Navy-grade steel. And but you wouldn't tell it, that we try to normalize the feel of the mountain as you work here.
At any given time, 150 to 300 people are working inside, tracking every threat to North America.
It's like a mini city underground.
The 5-acre site sits under a mile of granite and was built nearly 50 years ago.
The main tunnel was designed in the Soviet time frame, when Cold War, at the height of the Cold War, to allow any blast attack, to allow the blast to pass straight on through the mountains. The buildings would ride on these springs and never touch the granite. They'd essentially bounce.
The buildings rest on 1,500 of those giant springs, so even if an earthquake happened, the building would make it. All of the pipes are also built to withstand a blast.
Water, sewage, anything going into these buildings actually has to flex with the bouncing as well. So that, because it doesn't do any good if the buildings survive, the people survive, but then you don't have the electricity or the communication lines to continue.
NORAD, the North American Aerospace Defense Command, formerly known as. Now it's got 13 Defense Department agencies working there, including the U.S. Space Force. This place boasts of 15 three-story buildings underground. They literally say it's an underground city. That's pretty legit, right? The thing's built under like a mile of granite. The buildings are built on springs. The pipes are all flexy. It's got underground reservoirs. It's got an underground electrical system. They say it can withstand an earthquake, an EMP, and a nuclear strike. So that place sounds like it's ready for anything. So my question is, why would you not build a tunnel from the Denver airport to that? Because wouldn't it make sense to have a tunnel to get to a super secret underground secure facility? Because obviously if everything was going crazy up on the top of the earth, wouldn't it make more sense to fly into the airport, go straight underground and get to that base? So why wouldn't they do that? So here's where the questions come in my mind. If they said, oh, it would cost too much money to do that. We want to do that one day. Because why wouldn't they want to do that? Fly into the airport, the major airport, you go underground. Makes sense to me. So when they just say, nuh-uh, I ask questions like, why not? And you get answers like, well, 95 miles is too far. As a big World War II buff, or used to be, the French in the 30s built the Maginot Line, which is like 280 miles of fortifications, underground, electric trains, a massive undertaking. And the French did this in the 30s. So get this, September 12th, 1957, NORAD became a thing. They made the agreement. They started building, I think, in the 60s. So in 60 years, could the United States build a tunnel 95 miles long? The answer is obviously yes, they could. The Gotthard Tunnel in Switzerland is 35 miles straight through rock. How many years it took them to do that? Nowhere near 60. Maybe, this could be a theory. Sorry, guys. Is it possible that they built the airport so far outside of Denver because they already had tunnels that went that way? A lot of people ask the question, if the tunnels went all the way to NORAD, how could they build that and no one know? Which I would say is, well, the one side is top secret. So what if they dug the majority of the way on the top secret side? And then they only had to dig kind of a little bit far on the airport side to connect with the tunnel they already dug or dug later. I think it makes sense to do that. I think where the suspicion comes in when they just outright deny it, like it's a stupid idea. Like, why would we ever think that would be a thing? Well, why do you have anything underground if not for something bad is going to happen one day and you'll need it? right? So even if the murals are not predicting something that they have planned, something bad will happen one day, right? Because that's why you have the base, just in case. And also, did nobody think it was in poor taste to, at the Cheyenne Mountain Complex, to have a 9/11 memorial that is a rusty beam sticking through what looks like a globe on some kind of a pentagon?
Outside the complex sits a 9/11 memorial, a reminder of why what they do inside is so important for all of us.
Yeah. I don't get it. I don't get it. I don't get how that honors anyone. I think it looks kind of offensive to me. And also, them saying this reminds them of why they do what they do at the Cheyenne Mountain Complex, when that thing has been in operation since like the 60s, and 9/11 happened under their watch and they didn't really do anything. So I don't know what that's supposed to mean, other than maybe the most negative interpretation is they do what they do because they got a lot of money after September 11th, 2001. Well, anyways, guys, I'm sure I missed something because there's always other kinds of weird things there, including like the AUAG, which could be the elemental symbols for silver and gold, or it could be some kind of super hepatitis that was created in a lab. Yeah, I don't know. I'm not going to speculate about that kind of stuff because I think that's the kind of stuff that gets you banned. But yeah, there's also that. What do you guys think? Have I been fair? Have I asked any reasonable questions? What questions do you guys have? Hit me in the comments. And if you like this video, like, share, subscribe. I want to hear from you. I want to do more long format stuff. And I hope you guys like this thing, because if you did, I'll do more. If you guys hate it, I'll probably still do some of them, but less.